What if food isn't just fuel? What if food is information? What if every meal sends a message to your nervous system? Welcome to Healing Beyond the Symptoms, the podcast that helps people discover the root causes of their health struggles and take back control with science, strategy, and self-awareness. I'm Dr. Leah Hahn, a chiropractor and functional wellness doctor who believes that true healing starts beneath the surface. So let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something that often gets overlooked when it comes to nervous system healing, nutrition. Now, before you turn out because you've heard every nutrition podcast under the sun, I want you to know that this episode is not about counting calories. It's not about following the perfect diet. And it's not about eliminating everything you enjoy. Today, I want to explore nutrition through a different lens. Because whether we realize it or not, our bodies are constantly asking one very important question. Am I safe? We often think about safety as something emotional or psychological. We think about our relationships, our environment, our stress levels, but our biology is asking the same exact question. Am I safe? And one of the ways we answer that question every day is through how we nourish ourselves. Realize that the nervous system doesn't separate food from survival. Imagine being one of our ancestors thousands of years ago. Food scarcity wasn't unusual. Periods of famine happened. There was uncertainty. The nervous system evolved to pay very close attention to nourishment because nourishment meant survival. That wiring still exists today. Your body doesn't know that you're living in the modern world. It simply gathers information. Did you eat? Did you get enough protein? Are your blood sugar levels stable? Are nutrients available? Is energy consistently arriving? Or is the body experiencing scarcity? The body responds accordingly. This is one reason many people who are under chronic stress find themselves craving sugar, carbohydrates, or highly palatable foods. Their nervous system isn't broken, it's attempting to create safety. The problem is that many of us are trying to heal while unknowingly sending our body mixed messages. We're asking the body to feel calm while skipping meals. We're asking the body to regulate while living on caffeine. We're asking the body to heal while undernourishing it. And then we wonder why we feel anxious, exhausted, irritable, or stuck. Realize that healing requires resources. One of the principles I teach frequently is that healing actually requires building blocks. Think about recovering after surgery, recovering after an illness, recovery after intense exercise. The body requires resources. Nervous system healing is no different. Your body needs those building blocks. It needs amino acids. It needs healthy fats. It needs fiber. It needs minerals. It needs vitamins. Even water is incredibly important to the healing process, and electrolytes. Without those resources, healing becomes much more difficult. Many people approach healing as though it is purely emotional, but healing is deeply biological. Your body literally needs raw materials to repair tissues, create hormones, manufacture neurotransmitters, regulate inflammation, and support the brain. When those building blocks are missing, healing becomes harder work. We're going to talk about protein and the nervous system. Let's start with one of the most important nutrients for nervous system health. Again, that's protein. Protein isn't just for building muscle. Protein provides amino acids that the body uses to create neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that influence your mood, focus, motivation, sleep, resilience, and emotional regulation. For example, serotonin is derived from amino acids. Dopamine is also derived from amino acids. Many of the chemicals that influence how we feel originate from the foods that we eat. This is one reason I encourage people to prioritize protein, especially in the morning. When we begin the day with protein, we're giving the body information that nourishment is available. We're helping to stabilize blood sugar. We're reducing energy crashes, and we're supporting neurotransmitter production. And we're helping the nervous system feel resourced. Many people tell me they start their day with coffee and don't eat until late morning or lunchtime. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, shaky, or overwhelmed. The coffee isn't necessarily the problem, but coffee without nourishment can create stress chemistry in the body that's already stressed. Imagine asking your nervous system to feel safe while simultaneously telling it that food is not arriving. Those messages don't align. We need to talk about blood sugar and emotional regulation. One of the most fascinating connections in health is the relationship between blood sugar and how we can regulate our emotional state. Many people don't realize how strongly these systems interact. When blood sugar crashes, the body perceives a threat. Stress hormones rise, cortisol increases, adrenaline increases. The body mobilizes resources. You may feel irritable, anxious, foggy, emotional, shaky, or even just overwhelmed. Suddenly, you're snapping at your spouse or your coworkers. You're feeling stressed. You're craving sugar, not because you're failing emotionally, but because your physiology is struggling. Sometimes what feels like anxiety is partially unstable blood sugar. Sometimes what feels like emotional overwhelm is a body asking for nourishment. This is why balanced meals matter. Protein, healthy fats, fiber, colorful vegetables. These aren't just nutritional recommendations. They're nervous system support. So we're going to talk about something that has received much more attention in recent years, and that's the gut-brain connection. Your digestive system and your nervous system are in constant communication. The vagus nerve serves as one of the primary communication highways between the gut and the brain. In fact, much of that communication travels from the gut upward toward the brain. So think about that. Your digestive system is constantly influencing your nervous system. When digestion is compromised, many people notice changes in their mood, energy, focus, and resilience. When digestion improves, people often report feeling calmer, clearer, and more regulated. This is one reason many of our practice members notice changes beyond their original symptoms. As nervous system function improves, digestion often improves. And as digestion improves, the body becomes better able to absorb the nutrients needed for healing. Everything is connected. Let's talk about the role of healthy fats. For years, people were taught to fear fat, but the nervous system loves healthy fats. Your brain is composed largely of fat. Cell membranes require healthy fats. Hormone production relies on healthy fats. And the nervous system depends on healthy fats just in general. Foods like avocados, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, nuts, seeds, eggs, and omega-3 rich foods provide essential building blocks for health. Seeds such as flax seeds and chia seeds are also excellent sources of not just healthy fats, but also fiber. Omega-3 fats are especially important because they help healthy inflammatory balance and brain function. The goal isn't to fear food. The goal is to nourish the body and what it needs. Fiber also helps stabilize blood sugar and can be incredibly beneficial for healthy elimination. I personally make sure I include at least 2 tablespoons of flax or chia seeds in my diet every day. If I had to choose one mineral that many stressed individuals may need more of, magnesium would be near the top of the list. Magnesium participates in hundreds of biochemical reactions throughout the body. It supports your muscles, your nerves, your sleep, your relaxation, your energy production, and your stress resilience. The challenge is that chronic stress tends to deplete magnesium, and many people are already consuming less than the optimal amount. The result can be muscle tension, poor sleep, headaches, irritability, and increased sensitivity to stress. Again, this isn't about finding one magic supplement. It's about understanding that the body requires resources. You may have noticed that there are many different forms of magnesium on the market. One of my favorites is magnesium glycinate by Pure Encapsulations. It can be a great option for nervous system support, and for many people, it doesn't cause the digestive side effects associated with other types of magnesium. I also love Zymogen's Optimag Neuro. This product contains magnesium L-threonate, a form of magnesium that is used to support brain health and one of the few forms of magnesium that can cross the blood-brain barrier. It can be so helpful for an anxious mind, a body recovering from a stressful season, trauma, burnout, recovery, or just for general brain health and support. So let's talk about hydration and nervous system function. This may sound almost too simple, but I need you to drink water. Dehydration is surprisingly stressful to the body. Even mild dehydration can affect mood, concentration, energy, and nervous system function. Many people are walking around underhydrated while drinking large amounts of caffeine, and then they wonder why they feel wired and tired. Hydration is foundational. It's not glamorous or trendy, it's simply foundational. Healing often comes back to doing the simple things consistently. A general goal may be to drink approximately half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. If you've been drinking significantly less than that, don't feel like you need to change everything overnight. Start by adding an extra 8 ounces of water per day. You may also consider an electrolyte product. I live in a very dry part of the country, and I often recommend electrolytes to my patients for muscle health, proper recovery, hydration support. One of my favorite products is Electrolyte Synergy by Designs for Health. It's relatively low in sugar and additives compared with many of the products on the market. We want to think about food and our relationship to ourselves. And here's where I want to shift the conversation. Nutrition isn't just about nutrients, it's also about relationship. How do you relate to food? And how do you relate to yourself? Many people have spent years approaching food from a place of control, punishment, guilt, or shame. They eat according to rigid rules. They fear certain foods. They judge themselves. They bounce between restriction and overindulgence. The nervous system doesn't thrive under constant criticism. Healing often involves creating a healthy relationship with nourishment itself. Can food become an act of care instead of control? Can meals become moments of support instead of judgment? Can nourishment become one way you communicate safety to your body? One of the greatest lessons I've learned over the years is that healing rarely comes from dramatic actions. It comes from consistent ones. The body loves consistency. Regular meals, adequate protein, hydration, movement, sleep, and moments of regulation. These simple actions may not feel very exciting, but they create the foundation upon which healing occurs. The nervous system learns through repetition, not intensity. A single healthy meal won't transform your life, but hundreds of nourishing meals over time absolutely can. If you're wondering where to begin, keep it simple. Start your day with protein. Drink water before reaching for your first cup of coffee. Include vegetables with your meals. Prioritize healthy fats. Slow down enough to chew your food. Eat without multitasking whenever possible. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel. Notice your energy levels. Notice your mood. Notice your digestion. Become curious rather than critical. Small changes can create big shifts when they are applied consistently. As we finish today, I want to leave you with a different way of thinking about nutrition. Instead of asking what diet should I follow, try asking how can I better support my health and my nervous system? How can I nourish myself? How can I create more stability, more safety, more resources? Because healing is not simply about removing symptoms. It's about creating an environment where your body has what it needs to thrive. Every meal is an opportunity, not for perfection, but for support. Not for control, but for nourishment. Not for punishment, but for partnership with your body. Your body has been working tirelessly for you for your entire life. Perhaps nourishment is one of the most powerful ways you can work with it in return. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope that wherever you are in your journey, you leave this episode with a little more awareness and a little more kindness towards yourself and your body's needs. If you're ready to explore what deeper nervous system support could look like for you, I'd love to connect. You can book a wellness consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. Together, we'll look at what your body actually needs to heal at whatever that right pace is for you. If today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to understand how closely the nutrition and the nervous system healing are connected. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a review for the podcast. Your reviews help people discover these conversations about healing, nervous system health, and living beyond the symptoms. Thank you for being a part of this community, and until next time, breathe deeply, take time for yourself, nourish your body, and remember, you are not broken, you are patterned, and patterns can change. Thanks again for joining me today on Healing Beyond the Symptoms. If you've been curious about network spinal, or if you've tried everything else and still feel stuck, I want you to know this. Your body is not broken. It's patterned, and those patterns can change. If you're ready to experience how gentle care can lead to profound transformation, I'd love to invite you to book a wellness consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. Together, we'll look at what your body needs to finally release, reset, and thrive. Until next time, breathe deep, trust your body, and remember, gentle can be powerful.